Hey everybody, apologies for the lengthy hiatus that just went down. As I mentioned, it's been pretty busy in the last little while and needed to focus primarily on the work side of things as well as family. So anyways, happy to be back and just wanted to do a quick video high level on some of the questions that had come up regarding some things on my end personally that I'm happy to share. So I'll be looking at my notes just so I can remember. One thing I wanted to mention as well that I thought was quite funny was I got a comment from Joshua Wisdom who noted that my channel's been off for 4 months. So I thought that was a good impetus to move forward and get some videos going. So anyways, thanks to everyone who is continuing the dialogue on the comments, and it's great to hear, and I love seeing that there's still just a large range of men, women, different MBTI types, as well as ages. So it's fantastic to see. So what, a couple of the questions, one major one that I had noticed was people wanting to know what I do. So my profession right now is in the tech side of things. I originally actually come from a statistics and sociology background and have spent most of my career in the oil and gas sector doing negotiating. And so that's given me quite an interesting scope into life, but switched over here in the last couple of years towards becoming a sole female founder of a tech startup. So decided to jump and bite off way more than I knew I was chewing. So it's been really interesting, and I wouldn't trade it for a second for us INTJs. The ability to stretch every single day in what we know and what we can achieve is something that is a thing that is amazing for myself, especially at this point in my career. So that's where I'm at with the busyness, and hence why if you're starting any tech startup as a sole founder, it is a lot of hats to wear. So with that regard too, I wanted to highlight a little bit more that, yeah, that's what I do, but tied to that, there's also the values that I have regarding my business. And for myself personally, I really value building relationships and dynamics with females and empowering them in the best way I can. So a lot of the work that we've been doing, integrating into my company, is also finding opportunities to give a hand up for women that are transitioning from other phases of their lives and don't necessarily have the education or the amount of experience in the business world. So it gives a little bit more lead time in having to bring these folks on. And one thing I have noticed is through this passion of mine, you also end up with probably an 80% turnaround rate, because a lot of times if they don't have the experience and understanding a workplace environment, it becomes overwhelming, or they might have some challenges in transitioning. So it's been very interesting on that front. So I wanted to ask, or just respond to a couple of high-level questions. There was one from Virtual Kingdom, and I'm looking at my notes again because, as always, I will never remember. This person asked what was my percentage for each of the letters on my INTJ spectrum. So I thought that was interesting because that does really play a part. I'm going to actually do a video on this in a little bit, but speaking to that, because what I've noticed in meeting other INTJs, there's almost a gut sense when you found one, and when you do find out they are indeed an INTJ, there's a basis for all the personality or all INTJs I find that have similar scope in the way they are questioning things or curious, but there is so much flexibility on the concentration or regarding the percentage that they have. So for myself, I have a very high percentage on the thinking and the judging side. So I believe my thinking was at 78% and my judging was at 81%. My introversion is, I believe, I'm just trying to remember, it was about 15%, and my, what was the last one? Oh, intuition. It was actually quite high too. It was 68%. So that, I think, really does play a part in understanding the scope of the INTJ that you're encountering. So I don't want to go too far into a lot of detail on this video. It was mostly just getting back into the swing of things, and hopefully being able to put out a couple more videos here all in one batch, so I can get going again, and love hearing your comments as always. I always do track the video requests, so if yours was even from months ago and it hasn't been addressed yet, it doesn't mean it won't be. It's always in my file, so I can look at it for another video in the future. So anyways, as always, great to have you guys all in the community, and look forward to more comments as we go forward. Thanks so much.